Have you ever been driving at night and suddenly you're blinded by the brightest LED lights known to man? You're already doing 10 over, so you're not quite sure why you're being tailgated. You move to the passing lane to save your eyes and the culprit, a lifted Ram 1500 on 30s speeds, by letting out a massive cloud of black smoke blinding you completely. You've just been coal rolled. This is just one of the reasons people despise pickup trucks, but more on that later in the video. You guys seem to absolutely love this video. So today at Vice City Vehicles, we'll be going for round 2 of the worst fan bases in the car community. At number 5 on our list today is the American trucks. While it's important to never judge a book by its cover, it's the general consensus amongst most people, not just the car community, that truck fanatics are some of the most awful people on the roads. Many truck owners seem to believe that since they spent thousands upon thousands on their rigs that they now own the pavement. And since they are taller and wider than almost every other car on the road, everyone must make way for them. To make sure the path is clear, truck fans love to install light bars, obnoxiously loud exhaust, and questionable stickers so everyone knows they're the shit. Hilariously, it seems that most truck guys don't even like each other. Cummins owners love to mention that they own a Cummins and how it's better than an F-150 or a Duramax. A lot of the hate comes from the fact that most of these heavily modified trucks live out most of their lives on pavement and are washed multiple times a week. The exact opposite of what trucks were made for. Of course, that is aside from the extreme arrogance displayed by these guys. Next on our list is not necessarily one certain car, but what some might call JDM fanboys. These people think that the R34 GTR and the Mark IV Supra are God's gift to Earth, and don't care for any car unless Smokey Nagata's owned it. One of the biggest jokes produced by this stereotype is the masses of 12-year-olds that have convinced themselves that the Supra comes with 1,000 horsepower stock, and that it can take on anything from a Hellcat to a Bugatti, because, well, it is the 2JZ Supra after all. These are the type of kids that will have their mom pushing 150 in her Kia Soul because they wanted to take a roller of a R34 because they're a certified TikTok car spotter. Oh, and if you haven't guessed by now, their favorite movie is Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift. While our next pick is a bit more mature in age, the Corvette fan base is often too mature. In turn, you get groups of old guys who believe that adding an exhaust and a front lip to your Vet is a war crime. Usually these guys had a midlife crisis at 55 and wanted to feel young again, so they convince their wives it's a good idea and end up with a bone stock C7 just the way they like it. Oh, and if one of these guys ever comes to see a Corvette you're selling, expect them to demand an extra $5,000 off for every aftermarket mod you may have put on. Aside from that, it is awesome to see an old guy driving a Corvette. One owner said, "As a Corvette owner, most other Corvette owners I meet are old dudes who put 50 miles a month on their cars and never get above 5K RPM. They're all concerned about protecting their investments and talk down on people that would dare modify their car." Another American fanbase important to bring up is Mopar. Dodge's performance subset SRT has undeniably come out with some of the coolest cars in the last decade, such as the Hellcat, Trackhawk, Ram TRX, and Durango, as well as several other fan favorites. Unfortunately, a select few do give the brand a bad rap sometimes because they are known to be arrogant and believe that their car is better than anything else on the road. While it is true that the supercharged 6.2-liter V8 found in the majority of SRT's creations is more than capable in a straight line, certain models do still have their downsides. For example, the Challenger and Charger are known to be fairly overweight for their class, some people even referring to them as boats. They struggle in the handling side of things. Often these pitfalls are overlooked by owners, adding to the delusion that raw horsepower numbers are all that matters. It's important to note, however, just like any other group on this list, that there are tons of really well-built, clean builds out there, and there's a reason so many people live by the saying, Mopar, or no car. Now, we already covered one side of the pavement princess family, but we haven't mentioned Jeep yet. The Jeep initially originated in 1940 as a militaristic all-terrain vehicle. Throughout time, the Jeep Wrangler in particular has become an everyday sighting on the roads, whether you're in California or Alaska. Most people like to add lift kits, massive wheels, bull bars, and whatever these are, to make it look like their Jeep is ready to conquer uncharted territory. Unfortunately, the most off-roading these Jeeps will probably see is someone's lawn when the owner falls off the road because they're looking at their phone. A lot of dislike towards this fanbase comes from purists who believe that a Jeep should be used for what it was intended to do, off-road. I think it's a good time to mention the next group on our list, the fake car people or ricers. While it is important to respect all builds and support all car fans, it's hard not to be humored by people who do this. When they hold car meets, it usually just ends up looking like the Costco parking lot. Basically, what I am talking about is the type of people who drive regular traffic. While there's nothing wrong with this, it is a bit corny when they think that their Chevy Cruze is now a sports car since they added some claw mark decals on their headlights and plasti dipped their wheels black. while everyone's entitled to do what they want with their money. If you want a sports car, all it takes is some browsing of Facebook Marketplace, and even with a small budget, it's not hard to find something like a Civic Si that will be taken a lot more seriously. Other honorable mentions include people who up-badge their cars. For example, they will take their C300 and slap on a C63 badge and some AMG stickers. This is honestly just pointless because anyone who will actually notice and understand the badge knows that the car is a fraud. And to the regular eye, it will just be a plain old C300 because most people don't even know or care what an AMG is. This video wouldn't be complete if we didn't mention the people who do this to their cars. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for weekly automobile content just like this. We would also love to hear down in the comments any other toxic fan bases we may have forgot to mention. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.